Aloha. I can't hear you if you're talking, Teeny. Yeah, I'm so happy. There you are.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sissy, Aunties, and Aunties today. We have our little guest star, Jaden. He'll be joining us today. He woke up from his nap, which he's supposed to be sleeping during this time. But happy that you can join us for our monthly conversation. I am one of your hosts. My name is Justine Medina. I'm Navajo, Ho-Chunk, and Menominee, and I'm calling out from the Bay Area. And yeah, we're just excited to get together today so we can talk about quickly, about summer vacation and summer plans. And I know Jaden's been enjoying the summer, so it's been one of my first summers as a mom. So I know we'll talk about that later, but it's been nice to do activities. And before we go into our conversation, I just want to do a quick land acknowledgement. I think it's very important for us to acknowledge the land that we are on. And out here in the Bay Area, the land belongs to the Lonely people. So just want to say thank you to the Lonely people and the caretakers that were here before and that are here today, still taking care of the land. And I'll send it over to Jennifer.
Thank you. Yes, it is important to acknowledge the land that we are on. Skugtash, Ani Napchikik, Jennifer Varenchik, Ani Tonatham. Hi, everybody. My name is Jennifer. I'm from the Tonatham Nation, and I'm zooming in from the illegally occupied Kingdom of Hawaii on the island of Oahu. And I just wanted to say hello. I'm really excited about today. We're going to be talking about summer, which is my absolute favorite season. And as always, we want to start in a good way. And so I'm going to do our opening prayer, which I have some sage right here, and I'm going to light that for us. And let's see here. My lighter says slay today. Just wanted to share that with you all. All right, here we go. This is actually California white sage that was gifted to me by Avril, one of our aunties who's running everything from behind today. So Avril, this prayer also goes out to you and your family. Creator, thank you so much for bringing us all together here today virtually. I ask that you continue to bless us, bless all those that are listening and watching, and Indian country as we are moving towards great things. So many Emmy nominations yesterday. Bless all of the nominees and continue to help us with all the struggles that we have in Indian country, please, Creator. Especially with MMIP, all the land issues that we have, the land issues that we have here, going on with trying to, all the battles, Creator. Each one of us has battles that we're facing and battles that we may not share with others, but I ask that you continue to bless us and continue to restore in our hearts hope and faith. And I'm just grateful for today. I'm grateful for Justine and for Avril and for the little one to be able to join us, Jaden. Thank you so much. Oh, what do I say? Amen. Thank you. So now that we did our opening prayer, it's like, okay, we took care of the land acknowledgement. We did our opening prayer, and now we're able to get a little more into it. So one of the things that we wanted to share with y'all is, why are we doing this? How did we come up with this? Why do we continue to come back month after month to share with you all our perspective as Indigenous women? So, Justine, you were saying, when did we first start this?
Yeah, so just wanted to share because we were talking about the name of the event, and we always call it a live event or a live stream. And I was just like, but we're talking. So I was like, how about a talk show? Because it's not a podcast, we don't have audio yet, but I was like, a talk show. And I was thinking about it, and I was just like, oh, how do we get to this point? And there was also a point of me that when I decided on the name of talk show, I really was like, oh, I've been prepping for this because my grandma always had the radio on. Like she always had the radio on. She always had talk shows. We're to the point where she'd even call into the radio and she'll talk about her experience. Like I remember there was an earthquake one time, and she called her radio station, our local radio station, and told them her experience with the earthquake. So I just wanted to talk about how we came about this talk show and a little bit of history about it. We started it back in March. I saw the date, March 21st, 2021. So that was even before I even thought I was going to be a mom. Oh, Jaden was born a year later after that, actually. Yeah,
Whoa.
March 21st, 2022. And I think it really came out of from my understanding, I remember Avril was doing Paku Hour during that time. And I loved Paku Hour. She was doing bingo for that. She was doing like raffles on that, and it was awesome. And I think this conversation, like of starting a podcast, I think came out of that. Like not only that, but like you had moved to Hawaii too. So I felt like this was a way of, and we all know in LA, it's if you're going to drive somewhere, you got to really plan your day around that driving. So I know I was on the other side of LA out in Long Beach during that time. So I think this really came out of a time of like how to connect to each other during COVID and afar from each other. So that was my kind of take on the history of it. But
Yeah, I completely agree. It was a need to connect. And I know for myself, selfishly being over here, and I've shared this before, but when I first moved here, I did go through some serious homesickness, and it was difficult to be away from community, knowing that in Los Angeles, even though, like you said, we are all spread out, it's much easier to see people. And when you are around people, you can feel their energy and you can get uplifted and encouraged and just all of it. And so for myself moving here, not knowing anybody except for Glenn, it was very difficult. And I really understood, or I can't say that I understood, but I felt like I always heard these stories about students that would come and they would, they'd end up going back home because it was the homesickness. And I was like, I felt like that. I was depressed. I was not my normal self. I felt very lost. And so this, having us connect virtually, that's where I would leave us talking and I'd feel like, yay, like I would just feel so empowered and happy and hopeful. And so this is, I think for me, that's what I remember most was like, yeah, we're having these conversations and it's really great, but also just on my end as an individual, I love being able to talk to you all. And then not only that, now we were starting to bring in friends of ours. And then now you guys get to meet all these awesome people too. Like that was really, I don't know, it was like the cherry on top for me. So it's been good.
Yeah, it definitely has been awesome to see all the different like community members that we know and bringing them together and just brainstorming things. And not only is this like a conversation for us, like us three selfishly too, but we also invite like all of our friends to join in the conversation. Even if you just want to, because we like to ask questions throughout our theme, even if you make a comment or Avril, she's in the background, so if you make a live comment, like we hope to respond because we hope this definitely brings community together and just, this month's topic is a little bit lighthearted and a little bit fun, and we can go through different topics like we have. But yeah, not only is it just for us, but it's also for everyone. If you have time to just join and chit chat with us, we're here for that. But exactly. Yeah, I think that's it for our history. Dun, 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 dun. And
yeah, that's how we started.
It's because we were fun, eh?
And yes, we have Avril in the background. So Avril Cordova is normally right here with us. She has some things happening right now that is making it so that she is going to be in the background right now, but she's still here. So if you all have a comment for Avril or a shout out, please let us know. She's still here. She's just not on camera today. And while I'm thinking about it, shout out to Paul at powwows.com. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. And it's one of these days we're going to get you on as well. We want to have you on the show. So summer vacation. One thing as an adult, I definitely like miss that feeling of like last day of school, you know, when like you really had no responsibilities when you're younger, or at least for myself, and like it's last day of school, yay, I'm free. And then I would come home and be like, I'm bored. How
Yeah.
about you? How was your do you have any like elementary school memories like that?
Yeah, I think growing up, like when I think about summer vacation or summer in general, I do think about like summer. So when I was in elementary school, I was at year-round school. So I was just like in elementary school, I was like, summer vacation isn't real. Like I go to year-round school. Um, but for like a middle school, when they had like summer vacation, I that was like so much fun. I think I remember even telling my mom at a point in time, like, Mom, I'm gonna go out every day in the summer. Like if it's just to the park or to the library, down the street to 7-Eleven to get a hot dog and a Slurpee. Like that was my jam during the summer, just hanging out with friends and hanging out at the park. I remember like going to Knott's Berry Farm and just kind of that carefree like attitude, I feel like during that time. Um yeah, it was always fun. I like summer vacation.
Yeah, for sure. I last night, so being here in Hawaii, I have, you know, access to swimming in the beach. And so last night we went swimming, or yeah, it was night, but the sun was still out. So um but for a moment we were walking through the park to get to uh, our car, and I was walking. I had just finished swimming, so I was like kind of tired, still, you know, damp. Walking, somebody was grilling in the park, and like the sun was still out. And for a moment, I'm like, this is summer. This is summer. Like this feeling of like you're smelling the grill, the heat, you're kind of tired from swimming, you're still a little bit wet, but not cold. I was like, and I stopped and I was like, Glenn, this is summer. Like I'm feeling summer right now, this
Oh,
whole like thing. And it only lasted for like a moment, you know, but I wanted to capture it. It was also like relaxation. Like I was genuinely relaxed and not stressed for like a moment. But yeah,
yeah.
that was a really good feeling, and it just reminded me of, like you're saying, summer favorite summer memory. I can't pinpoint it. I'm just saying there was this feeling when I was little, when I was young, and I mean like elementary school, and I would be swimming either in the neighborhood pool or somebody's backyard, and like you come out of the pool and you're kind of tired, and there's food being prepared, so you know like you're going to be fed, and it was just like this feeling, and it was a really really great feeling that is hard to capture. I felt it last
Yeah.
night for a moment.
Yeah. And thinking of that too, like just the longer days, right? So we all know, when there's summer solstice, that's gonna be the longest day the year. And I
Mhm,
think cherishing those moments too of like the extra sun is just amazing.
mm,
Like not taking that for granted because when fall rolls around, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to sleep early. I remember one time during the summer, I did a little quick sprint triathlon, and my sister and my niece came with me, and it was like around 8:30. It started like at 5 or 4. I had to be there. So, um, but my sister's like, okay, it's time to go to sleep, Sadie. And she opens the window. She's like, but there's still sun out. So, because it was 8:30. And it's just like longer, yeah, longer. I see that like longer days and more time just to do things, like even after
mhm,
work now. Like after work, I can take Jaden for a walk. And yeah, you're right. It's more of that carefree attitude. But
mhm,
yeah,
mhm. I'm
very
trying to think of like a favorite summer memory. And I know that I did have really great summer vacations, and I know that that's a privilege. But I think the one that I have many, but there's one that I want to share, and it's gonna date me, but that's okay. So this is in the 80s, and I used to play soccer, and I got to go to a soccer summer camp at UC Santa Barbara, and it was I was there for 2 weeks. And Oh, I distinctly remember, like, just absolutely loving it because I love soccer, so I was, like, playing soccer 24/7, and I was at the age where I was probably, like, middle school, starting to, like, really, like, notice boys, get into boys, and we were staying in like, a suite situation where there's a large living room and then, like, 2 or 3 bedrooms connected, and you all kinda shared that space. And so I came back from my group, my age group, back to my room to rest. And I walked in the room, and the room was packed like a party, and they were playing music. And I walked in, I was like, what's going on? What, like, this is my house. What's happening? And in the middle, somebody was breakdancing. And I had never seen that before. And breakdancing was not like, it was just coming out, and they were playing like Herbie Hancock Rocket. And then like everyone like would jump in the middle and jump out. And I remember like I had never been in a party because I was young, but like this was the feeling. And it was a really, really cool feeling of like I'm away from home and I'm independent and there's a party in my room, like in our house. And like I always remember like from then on, break dancing was like it was a big deal. And I remember seeing it for the first time, and I just remember like that was a really cool like summer memory. I was like, it's a core memory for me seeing breakdancing for the first time and hearing that music too. I had never heard that kind of music before. That was really cool.
Awesome. That sounds like fun. I can just picture you all just like, ooh, like I'm an adult now.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
How fun. Like speaking of like how that reminds you of summer too, I forgot like summer concerts always happen. And so I remember I'd always make sure I'm making it to Warped Tour. Like I'm gonna go to Warped Tour, and just speaking of breakdancing, it was mosh pitting at Warped Tour.
Opposite ends.
Yeah, and it was just always fun just to be there. Of course, I would have to ask my mom to drop me off, pick me up. But yeah, I think the music always comes with me, like, is a reminder too. I think the big thing right now is like the Childish Gambino songs of summer. That reminds me of, actually, I think those songs were released when you had a summer pool party. You had a pool party at your house. Now that I think about it, you do love summer. And you remember you invited all of us, and there was a unicorn there in your pool. And yeah, that was a vibe. That was a vibe. You had the music going, Childish Gambino, and you had hot dogs and everything. Mm-hmm.
And that's me wanting to recreate that.
I just need to huh?
Yeah, because growing up, we didn't have a pool. And so as an adult, being able to have a pool and then like be able to share it with people. And yes, the unicorn, that was Fernando. That was his name. Sadly, Fernando is not with us anymore, but
Great times.
yeah. That was yeah, and Childish Gambino just announced that he's retiring. Childish Gambino, he's gonna just be Donald Glover. So full circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Song Tree here. Her favorite summer memories is powwow camping, family trips at Kern River, and learning how to cook and bake with Grandma Juanita in Taos Pueblo. Oh, those are all wonderful, beautiful memories. I'm sure that they will serve you well when you need to think about happy things. Never made it to Lollapalooza. I didn't either, but we had this thing called Summer Jam. Have you ever heard of that? I don't know if it's still around, but they would get all these like one-hit wonders that did like kind of like R&B and hip hop and rap, and they put them on a stage. And like Funky Cold Medina, the guy who sings that. These are like a long time ago, like long time ago. But that was my summer concerts, was going to this thing called Summer Jam. It was fun.
Nice. I remember the first time I heard Funky Cold Medina, I was a teacher in middle school, and he was like, Funky Cold Medina. I was like, what?
Oh, your name.
Yeah. Because my last name's Medina. The next, let's see if we have any questions. Oh, do you have any vacation plans this summer? So we already had our summer vacation. we actually went to Maui, Hawaii for the first, well, I went for the second time. It was Jaden's first time going, and it was the first time actually going as like a family vacation with Matt's family. And so that was super relaxing. And yeah, I've never really been on a family vacation like that where we all just kind of went as a family and we're gonna do things as a family there. It felt like a TV show almost somewhat. Like I don't know, I felt like someone had to be getting in trouble, someone had to be doing something else. Like I was like, are we on a sitcom right now? Because it was totally the vibes, like, you know, being the Medina family vacation. But I think the one thing when I, went to Maui, for me it was very important to like really be conscious of like the land and where I'm going to go visit for the summer. I think that's one thing I always take into consideration when I'm thinking about like summer vacations, of like, whose land am I visiting? Is it really like going to be just Jaden doing Jaden things, like touristy, or like where is my money going? And just trying to be mindful too of doing that summer vacationing. But we already had our summer vacation plans, and it was amazing. Jaden loves the pool. And it was just nice to spend some family time and just like relax. I actually did not think of work the entire time I was there. So
Yay!
yeah. And then I posted it on my phone too. Like, I'm so used to having, I won't say how many hours a day I spent on my phone on my Sunday report, but this Sunday report only had 52 minutes. So I wonder if, if you don't have summer vacation plans, maybe it could just be a vacation from your phone.
That's nice. Yeah. We're going to be coming to California next week actually, and we'll be there for quite some time. But it's not vacation. I guess in a way it is vacation because for me, I get to see my grandson, Tristan, and for me that's like vacation / heaven, just being able to spend time with him, being away from him. And I already asked, like, what's his schedule? He has swim lessons. And so I'm like, okay, note to self, don't book anything on Tuesday and Thursday when he has a swim lesson, because I want to go with him. Even though I'm not participating, I just want to be there, on the sidelines. Good job. Kick, or whatever.
Yeah. I get it. I told Jaden's grandparents them all, yeah, you guys could come and float. And so Matt's whole family came to watch him float. So I get it.
We want to be a part of it, especially not being able to be a part of it because of our physical distance. We will be going, hopefully meeting up with my mom in Pismo Beach and seeing my brother who's in Santa Barbara. And we do have a weekend to celebrate Glenn's daughter, Gly, her birthday. So that's San Juan Capistrano. What else? That's about it. Like, it's really going to just be like hanging around the house type of thing. But I know that we'll get some things in there. We didn't really, we went on a big vacation in March. We went to Sydney, Australia. So that was kind of like, that was our vacation, like, for the year. But I'm sure we'll do some fun things while we're there. And I'm excited, including seeing Avril, being able to see her, as well as my bestie Juanita, and, yeah. All right. What do we have here? Maui, amazing. We went to Arizona 3 times this summer for sports, but our last summer trip will be to drive our son Cash across country to West Virginia University at Morgantown. All right. Looking forward to seeing the beauty of the land and living that one song, Take Me Home. Okay, Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver, and inspiration for that song. Yes. I don't know if you know that I'm a fan of that song. Or I'm a fan of the song, but I'm more a fan of singing it to annoy Glenn. He's like, enough for that song. I just have to say the first few words, and he's like, stop.
Oh. You're telling me your vacation plans. I do want to come back to road trips. So thank you for that. Sorry, my little bottle pointing. I want to go back to your plans, Jen. When you're saying that, I'm like, Oh, Jenna's a California girl. She's a California coast girl for sure. Like you have, near LA, you have Pismo Beach, Santa Barbara, and then I know you make your way up to the Bay too.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to make it so that we don't go all the way to the Bay, that we meet in the middle in Pismo Beach. We're bringing
Cool.
our dog too, so that's kind of a deal as well. She's never traveled, and we've never traveled with her, so we're gonna have to get some definite those drugs that they give the dogs to make them calm, because she's a super hyper dog. So we'll see
Oh,
how
nice.
that goes. But yeah, I do love California, and I do love the beach for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. And then speaking of road trips, your dog
Mhm.
took their first road trip. Does it sound like that? Somewhat of a road trip. Um, I think road trips remind me of summer too. Specifically, okay, I didn't mention this earlier, but summer also reminds me of, I grew up Southern Baptist. So I grew up in the it was called Pacific First Indian Southern Baptist Church. So I grew up with a lot of Choctaws, Seminoles, I don't know what other tribe, but it was definitely Oklahoma based church, and that was Baptist. And we would always go to summer camp. And also it would also
Mm.
be summer church camp. And it would also be church camp with like different Native American churches too.
Mm.
And I always thought that was fascinating. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was fascinating until I got older. I was like, oh, we all used to meet up together. Um, so that's how I spent my summers too. And not only that, when the Native people churches, all the Native churches, I guess, stopped meeting there. Our church, which was still a bunch of Native kids, we would go to camp too. So just it reminds me of this one time where our youth pastor, she said she was talking to like one of like the worship band members, and he was telling her, I heard there's like a Native church here, like, I can't wait to meet them and everything. And then she started laughing, and she's like, well, that's me, like that's us and the kids. But yeah, that's something that always reminds me of summer too. And I don't know if, I guess because we grew up Christian, like Falls Creek, we would go to Falls Creek. I don't know if you heard of that, but that's
Yeah.
also a big like summer church camp thing. So I spent my summers at church camp too when I'm not going to Warp Tour. So which we would do road trips to get there. So it does remind me of road trips too.
That's nice. That's nice. At those camps, do they like are there a lot of activities? Or I always heard of like Bible camp, and I don't know if that's the same thing. I'm imagining because it's church, but when I heard of it as an adult, so I did not grow up around the church. Um, so when I heard of it as an adult, I wonder, like, what do they do? Do they just like sit around and read the Bible? Like, what? I do not know what you all did at your camp, or was it
Yeah,
fun?
it was definitely like a lot of church. So it was like church worship in the morning, like breakfast,
Mm,
and church worship in the evening. But there was definitely games in between. Um, I think one of a core memory for me,
mhm.
so a bunch of youth together, is when they had a belly flop contest, and my brother did the belly flop contest, and he participated in it. And so but after he belly flopped, he pretended to like float dead after, like, so he belly flopped, and he was just there floating for a couple of seconds, and everyone's just quiet. And then his head pops up, like, I'm just kidding, and then like they scored him all a 10 and stuff. So there were some memories of like that, like just fun playing games. Yeah,
Mm,
it was fun, and a lot of Bible and a lot of worship. I definitely came back closer, like spiritually. I think that
mm,
was a foundation for me too. Now I think about it.
mm.
If my youth pastor's listening, I
It worked.
go back
That's
to
good.
those values. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else participated in church camp, but that
I
was a big.
wonder. If you did, let us know.
Yeah.
Um, so do you like summer camping trips? I will answer. My answer is no. I do not like to camp. I did grow up camping. My family actually had a camper. And as I've grown older, it's not an activity that I enjoy. I remember, at least more than 10 years ago, I'm going to say 15 to 20 years ago, I had a boyfriend who was really into camping and our friends were into camping. And so he was like, "You don't have to do anything, just sit there and I will put up the tent and do all the things." And I was like, "All right, I'll go camping." No, still no. Even I remember Standing Rock, like the same thing was like, "Okay, we're gonna have to put up tents and everything." And I did it and I survived. But if I have a preference, I'm gonna say I prefer not to go camping. Glamping is a bit better. Yeah, I like glamping too, but I did it so much as a child that I feel like I'm good. Like I'm not going to choose to go outside in the wilderness. That's just me. If you can't tell, that's just my own personal.
Yeah. I was thinking of a camper. Did you have a Winnebago?
No, I don't think so. I see a logo, like it's long and it had 2 words. It was like camp something, but I'm pretty sure we didn't have a Winnebago.
It's just always so funny. I feel like when I tell people I'm like Winnebago, they're like the camper? Yes, I am Winnebago, like the camper. Oh, that sounds like fun. I don't think I haven't done summer camping though. But it sounds like you've been a lot more times than you have wanted to been camping.
You know what? I enjoy campfire at night, like sitting around making s'mores and talking, drinking coffee, or a glass of wine or whatever, but like everybody sitting around and talking. I really enjoy that. But then I want to retire to my room with air conditioning and a bed and no bugs. That's just my preference. And I can do it. I'm not saying like I don't like it. I'm just saying if you're gonna give me a choice, that's what I'm gonna choose.
Yeah. Awesome. I forgot. So April showed something pop up. What does that say, April?
Inflatable mattress. So she said that she has an inflatable mattress. So that's she enjoys camping. And there it is. With the queen size inflatable mattress. That's wonderful. Still not enough for me.
All these little things you need for camping. Yes. I like this question. What's your ideal beach day like? We're definitely California people, so if you want to respond to this too and you don't have a beach near you, maybe a lake day, is that a river day? I feel like those are but this is very California, I feel like, or West Coast type of question.
Or pool day even, or pool day on the res. There might be a ditch, where there's a pond. Yeah. Well, what is yours? Especially now that you have Jaden. So what's your ideal beach day like?
I think for sure it is sunscreen. For sure I burn, so sunscreen is important. Snacks are important, so I have to bring my hot Cheetos with me. And for Jaden's, I have to bring, all types of snacks from juice to berries to what else? Sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He's trying to make his way up here. Towels, making sure that we have our towels laid out, sandals. And I think the one thing I love the beach, but the sand, I feel like the sand is just messy. It comes with it though, right? So like when Jaden was first introduced to the beach, he did not like the sand in between his toes. Like he was like, no. Like when you put him down, he would like put his legs up. Like I'm not touching that. Yeah, and staying all day. I think staying all day is kind of like a must. Like from the afternoon to about, you go play in the water, then you come out, you eat your snacks, and then you go back and you come out, eat some more snacks, and you take a nap, and then you go into the water before the night. And then once night comes, you have your bonfire. And and then you call it a night, and that is your relaxing summer day. Oh, I need to do a beach day. I haven't done one yet.
I know. It reminded me, I remember when we used to do LA Indian Community Beach Day. And
Yeah.
that's actually, I think, one of the first times I met Matt. We had one.
Yeah.
And
We
his
had a
name.
bonfire.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you pretty much described my perfect beach day. However, now that I've gotten older, I wear sunscreen, of course, but I also wear a hat, like a really big hat, and I also wear a long sleeve, like those sun shirts. Um, and for sure, getting there, setting up, we had a little tent that we would use, and they're very popular here, where you just like, it's not like a full, it's like a three-sided tent, and it's kind of like, it's better than an umbrella, but it's not a full tent. And so you can kind of like go in there. We lost it though. We have no idea if we lent it out or did it float away when we got flooded. I have no idea what happened to it, but having like a base where there's shade, because that's one thing a lot of people when they come here, they don't realize that like it is hot. The sand is hot. Like if you don't have an umbrella or rent something from someone, you're gonna be hot. And
Yes.
so we bought this little tent thing. Food, very important, having all your great snacks. Water, of course, also, but like you said, go in, come out, take a nap, rest, read a book, all of it, all of those things. And then being there to the end and like roasting hot dogs over the fire or hamburgers or whatever, all of those things. Or if there's a taco truck near, like some kind of really nice food. But that sounds like a beautiful beach day for me also.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's see what Avril. So Avril has beach day, umbrella, check,
Mhm,
chair. So she has our checklist here. Chair,
mhm, mhm,
yes, sunscreen, hat, sandwiches in a bread bag. Oh, yeah. Water and other snacks. Love beach days with friends and family. Was at the beach yesterday until unexpected family emergency, but being surrounded by nature and family made that ER more okay. I think
mhm,
that's one thing too. Like, yes, talk about the vibes about it, but like, I think when I went to the beach this time, like around two, is like really connecting with like April said, nature and connecting with water. I think that is like so important, and just I don't know why. I don't know if I'm getting more appreciative, getting older too. Like I was like, oh wow, this water is a gift to us. Like we're able to go in there and get cool. And just the other day, I was washing my strawberries, and I was just like, wow, the earth gives us strawberries. Like the earth gives us food to literally nourish our bodies. How come we don't eat that? But thank you for that reminder. And this is me just getting older.
It is, it's true, it's true. I think, like, even today as I was driving home, I was meeting with friends in the morning, and, as I was driving home, I just saw, like, I came over this hill, and I saw this beautiful view of the bay, and it was just, like, beautiful blue water, and, like, I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is I get to live here. I get to see this," and I had, like, little tears because I was just so appreciative of, like, how this beauty is nature. It's nature. God made this. Creator made this for us. Like, I don't know. I never used to be like that. I would just drive by and just be like, "Oh, that's a nice view." But now I soak it in. So I think it is maybe us getting older. All
Awesome.
right. What does Song Tree say here?
All right, we have lake days. Oh, yes, with paddle boards, food, drinks, and friends. Electric pump to inflate all toys. That's very important. Miss the beach. Grew up on Santa Monica Beach. We call it Sahara because it was so far to the shore from Santa Monica Stairs, but we did it. The beach was our babysitter in the summers. Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah.
my mom saying her teacher, one of my auntie's teacher, like asked her, "Oh, how come you didn't come to school yesterday?" She's like, "Oh, because we went to the beach." Like and I'm sure they went to Santa Monica Beach because they grew up out there in LA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I have good memories of Santa Monica Beach, as a teenager because my family lived in Los Angeles, so I'd often come to LA, and I do remember always wanting to recreate and never have been able to recreate this feeling of, I remember as a teenager, I had a lavender boom box, okay, that you put a cassette tape in that had
Cool.
all my favorite like songs that either recorded off of the radio or off of a 45. Um I'm sorry, a 45 is a record. It's like a small record and, like, that you put on a record player. Oh, vinyl. Okay, so I'll refer to it as a small vinyl. But anyway, so I remember laying on the beach and drinking a Diet Coke and drinking a Diet Coke and reading like a teen magazine. I don't know what the teen magazine was, but it had like lots of like heartthrobs, pictures of heartthrobs and like, teen celebrities in this magazine and just like listening to the music and smelling. Back then I would put like uh some type of it wasn't sunscreen. It was actually like a oil to bake my skin, which is absolutely horrible, but like I didn't know any better. So like some type of like Hawaiian tropic coconut smelling oil that I would like slather all over me, drinking this Coke, looking at these, handsome teen throbs and just feeling very like, yeah, this is the teenage life. Um, Never
That,
been able to recreate that, but that was a good time.
that sounds like a good time, especially throw it back to the teen magazines. Shout that out because I kind of miss those. I really like them. I remember just being
Stunning.
out and just like, oh, let me check this out, mom.
Yeah.
And
So
then we have
April's
posters in it too.
oh,
Did you ever have
yeah,
posters?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. You take them out, the centerfolds, you take them out, and then you put like, teen Jason Bateman or whoever else was. I can't remember anyone else, but like that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head. But you'd put the teen heartthrob on your wall. I don't know, Michael Jackson. I have no idea. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
okay, so April here has a memory of Sun In. So do you know what Sun In is,
I don't.
Justine?
No.
Okay, let me please explain. Gather around the fire. Sun-In was a spray, and you would put it in your hair, and it was like peroxide, and it would lighten your hair. And it worked. If you're wondering if my dark locks could have, yes. Unfortunately, though, my hair would turn orange,
Oh,
and but it didn't stop me as a teenager. Did not stop me. Like I mentioned, was at this soccer sleepaway camp, and of course, I was the only person of color, or probably one of the only people of color that was a part of this. So all the other girls, they had brought their son in, but they had like blonde hair or like light brown hair. And I was like, yeah, sure, hook me up. And then my parents came to pick me up and I had like orange hair. It was horrible. But I didn't know that. I thought it was really cool. But Sun-In was a big deal. They had a lot of commercials for it in those teen magazines. You just spray your hair, and if you had blonde hair, it made it blonder. But if you had dark hair, it turned it like
orange.
coppery. Yeah, it was not good.
And that wasn't stopping you, right?
Hey, everybody was doing it, so I want to do it too.
I probably would have done it too. I'm not gonna lie. I would have. I think I always wanted blonde hair at some point.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have about 12 minutes left.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Let's wrap it up with another question. Jaden's getting bouncy.
Yeah.
um,
I like, do you have a favorite summer tradition?
okay.
Yeah, I do not, but I'm looking to create one maybe this time around with my grandson. Some type of thing that just the two of us do or just the family does. Um, I other than that, I can't really remember anything. Well, growing up when my grandparents were alive, we had a wonderful summer tradition of we would get a house in on Balboa Island, and my grandparents would host all of us, all the grandkids. We would, all the cousins, everybody would come, and those were wonderful, wonderful days. Like waking up with a full house, like full on like people. There's hustle and bustle, like a lot of hustle and bustle because there's a lot of people in the house. And then just like walking at night after dinner, like, like the sun's still up, so you can kind of take a family stroll. And we would get these things called Balboa bars, which is just basically ice cream dipped in chocolate. Those are really, really great times. I'm very happy and I recognize the privilege that I had to be able to have that. But that was a wonderful summer tradition. After my grandparents passed, it kind of like they were the ones who that was their thing. So we haven't had any type of reunion, but that was a great summer tradition. So, but I'm looking for something a little bit simpler than renting a house to create as a summer tradition.
Oh, Dodger games. You missed Dodger games. Summer tradition. I don't think I have any. I think so. A family vacation is definitely like Matt's family summer tradition, and seeing like them experiencing that together. I was like, oh, I can keep this going with Jaden. Like this, it's nice to make those memories.
Yeah.
He's agreeing. Choke me out.
No, he's agreeing with you. He's like saying, "Yeah, Mom, keep those vacations coming."
No, I'm. You know what? The first thing that comes to mind when I think of summer tradition is like, yes, family gathering, but I feel like a meal. Like I feel like how can I have a summer tradition with a meal? And what comes to mind is watermelon. But I don't know. Maybe if anyone has any summer recipes, let us know so I can incorporate that in the summer tradition on summer solstice. I would love to do this tradition.
I when I saw this question, just those of you at home, we have a list of questions that we're just kind of like, picking from. And so last year I tried this brand new summer recipe where you take like I don't know how to explain it, like watermelon, and you like kind of turn it into not a slice, but like a piece of watermelon, and then you put you mix feta cheese and cucumber and watermelon and some type of nut. Anyways, you mix it all up, and then like you serve it like a cracker, but it's watermelon. You serve it on top of the watermelon, and I brought it to a mixer that we were having, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's so refreshing. It's so good. It's like unexpected." And so that one, we're going to have another get together next week. And so I'll be bringing it, I'll be remaking it and bringing it. But that was really good. So I'll share that recipe if you'd like to see it. But that was really good. That was
yeah, I have those ingredients. So you can send it to me.
Yeah.
That's your new summer tradition. We're going to make.
Yeah. I think so. I remember for dinner, my mom would make, she would get Doritos and she'd make taco salad. So she would like make the meat, but like let it chill. It wasn't hot. And then like throw it in with the Doritos and then like some chopped, tomatoes and shredded lettuce and sprinkle some cheese. And like, because she was like, I'm not cooking, like she made the meat. It was like, made it like the day before or whatever. And it was our way of like, it was a fun meal.
Nice. It sounds fun. I have anything with Doritos topping. Give it to me. All right. Ava has a comment. Water, mint, and lemon. Great refreshing drink and help with hydration and just drinking water in general. Yes.
True.
Do that too. I love mint and lemon.
Yeah, me too. Real quick before we go, I wanted to, you said Flaming Hot Cheetos. I wanted to give a shout out to a movie that's you can watch. I think it's on Amazon or Hulu. I think it's on Hulu. It's called Flaming Hot. Have you heard of it?
Yes. Is that the one with the founder, right?
Yes, the guy. Yes, it's such an inspirational story about how Flaming Hot Cheetos got made. It was by a janitor, and it was just like, it's really, really inspirational, and it's directed by Eva Longoria. So Yeah, it's and the song was nominated. The song in the movie was nominated for best song. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, everybody out there, go watch it. It's called Flamin' Hot, and it's really, really an inspirational story about this janitor and what he did to gift us all Flaming Hot Cheetos now.
It's a blessing. I like
Yeah.
it. You've seen it, right? One of my favorite scenes from it is when they're testing out the different ones. Like, it's spicy, it's spicy. Is it spicy bad or spicy good? And he's all,
Yeah.
spicy good. Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll end on that. Spicy good. So we hope everyone's summer is spicy good.
I do too. Yes, spicy good. That's the way to go. Spicy good.
Awesome. Do you want to do the next announcement?
Sure. So our next show is August 22nd at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Hawaii. We're very excited. We are brewing it together, so we'll be sharing more about what it will be, but we will have a guest. This was more of like a kickback, chit chat, summer vacation. That was the vibe we were going for. But next month, in August, we'll be going back to a format of bringing on a guest to share information with you all. So we'll, look for that. Look for our advertisements.
Yeah. And if you have any like questions or comments, let us know what you'd like to see. These are all on ACN Associates YouTube page. So if you want to look at the playback over there, they're also on Facebook. So feel free to join in again in conversation, leave us a comment, and we'd love to hear from you.
For sure. If you are watching in the replay, on Facebook or YouTube, please put in a comment as you're writing whatever, if we're saying something like talking about breakdance or if we're talking about the Flamin' Hot, whatever it is, we love to see comments. It makes us really happy. So all right.
Jaden was pounding on that. I'll wrap it up, Mom.
I know, he was like, more cowbell.
Thank you all for joining us today. Bye.
Aloha. Thank you. Bye.